Hi, I'm making chili today. I have 2 tablespoons butter in here. I'm going to put some olive oil too. And then I'm going to saute 1 onion chopped up. I have it on a pretty high heat because I like to get my onion a little brown. I feel like it gives it really good flavor. There's also some garlic I chopped, but I don't want to add that quite yet. So, you want to get in there and check it out. I'm going to saute that onion with some butter and some olive oil. And I love fresh ground pepper. I love it. And then all food needs a little salt, so I like to pinch a little salt and put it in there. And you know what? While I'm sauteing, sometimes I let it go a little and then I add my herbs. Now, I'm from Northeast Colorado, and so in Northeast Colorado, you cannot have chili without cinnamon rolls. I'm sure it sounds weird, but I've been doing it my whole life, and my kids love it. So I'm going to put some cinnamon rolls in, and that'll be good. Also, I like to have saltines, celery, and carrots chopped up with it. Now, in this process where I'm sauteing these onions, normally I would also saute some sweet potato. I just didn't have one, but normally I love sweet potato and chili. You should try it. It is so good. I chop it up little, and it's really good. So, you want to pause it now. So a little time has gone by. You can come see how these onions look. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic. I've turned the heat down. They always say you shouldn't cook garlic with too much heat, so we won't do that. Now, as this is vegan chili, I like to use this Better Than Bouillon seasoned vegetable base. And I just like to put that in there because it gives it a little flavor, like as if you're putting broth in there. So I'm just going to kind of stir that in there. And then I like to put a can of, I love fire roasted diced tomatoes. I think they're so yummy. So I like to put a can of that. And then FYI, after putting in these cans, I like to recycle them. I rinse them out and I recycle them because we only get one earth. So I put a can of tomatoes and green chilies as well. And then I have 2 cans of chili beans. I don't want you to see what brand this is because I don't want you to judge me. You can zoom in. And then, see, it's already looking yummy. I rinsed a can of kidney beans and a can of pinto beans. This is some beanie chili. So in remembrance of what we've put in so far, a can of pintos, a can of 2 cans of chili beans, a can of kidney beans, a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes, a can of tomatoes and green chili. But that's not all. Time for the herbs. I like to put definitely chili powder. And I know I'm not measuring this, but you can eyeball it. I like a lot. Can you see that? I like to put a little cilantro. I like to put a little smoked paprika. Smoked paprika is kind of strong, so not too much. I like to put a little Worcestershire, which isn't vegan, so I make my own. And if you're vegetarian, it doesn't matter. I think it's anchovies or something. I like to put just a beans bit liquid smoke. Just a beans, because it's strong. I love barbecue sauce, so I put a little bit of that. It's not necessary, but I like it. See, I don't put very much, probably like a tablespoon and a half or so. Let's stir that in. And then I also like to put a little cumin. I can't find my oregano. I guess we could cut that. I like to put some cumin. See, kind of a generous amount. You shouldn't do this while the steam is rising. It'll ruin your herbs, but I'm naughty. I like to put some oregano. So I got my salt, pepper, cilantro, oregano, cumin, chili powder, smoked paprika, Worcestershire, liquid smoke, little barbecue. Now, as you can see, it's pretty thick. I love it thick, but I like it extra thick. So I'm gonna add some tomato paste because I love it thick. Thick and tomatoey, and it's all rich. I think it makes it rich. So there you can see the tomato paste. Sometimes I like to put a little beer in there. Beer's really good in chili, but you don't have to put it in there. So as you can see, that is some thick chili. Now with the tomato paste, you want to make sure that there's no chunks of that in there. So kind of just stir it in there, make sure it gets stirred in there. But it gives it this awesome thick red sauce that is so yummy. And then I'm not satisfied with that. I always like to add a little teeny bit more salt and pepper, a little bit more chili powder. I just always am tasting and adding and making sure there's enough. A little more chili powder and cumin are the main things I like to add more of because they're so yummy. And the salt and pepper just to be sure. So let's give that a little stir. Now I'm gonna let this simmer probably for about 20 minutes. It can just simmer and get, because then all the flavors get together and it's good. You can simmer it longer, you can make it in the crock pot, have it go all day on low. But if you were to do that, I'd put more liquid in so it didn't burn to the sides. Can I taste my little thing? Good. Good seasoning. So I'm gonna cover and simmer it and hopefully it's delicious. I forgot an ingredient when I was listing it. I just found it on the counter. A little brown sugar. Probably about 2 tablespoons. I had a bag of brown sugar in the thing and it was hard. It was like 1/4 of a bag, but I haven't had that happen to me in years and I was so sad. So luckily I had a backup bag. So get that brown sugar, look at that melt in there. You see how it's melting? That is food porn. All right, you can pause it. All so good. Good. That's all I needed. Good.